thing we're gonna make is called thoroughbred pie.
Well, pie, thoroughbred, all sounds good to me as long as it's not a horse pie.
It's not horse pie. It's got as many different names as it does variations in ingredients. So I, again, just picked the one that sounded the best to me. It's basically pecan chocolate bourbon pie. What's not to like? So it's super easy to make. You've got the mixer going. We're going to start by adding the butter, which is about, what, half a cup of butter?
Half a cup of butter that we just melted and cooled down a little.
And then we'll go with eggs. Love that mixer.
Oh, everyone should have one of these mixers. I have to say, this is probably my most prized possession. It makes everything so easy, and I'm always shocked that when more people don't have them.
Me.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have one. But I didn't grow up, my mom didn't have one. I don't know, I think you learn to cook the way that your mom cooks, and she, I don't know if she didn't do a lot of baking or if, I don't know. But no, never had a big mixer. Got a little hand one.
See, this is it. I mix, I walk away.
You don't have to hold on to it. This is great. So, very impressed.
So these are mixed now.
Okay, so now we'll start with flour, sugar.
Yeah, it's just, I think we put in about a cup of sugar and a half a cup of flour.
There's the cup of sugar. Half a cup of flour. And
yeah, I don't know if you've ever made pecan pie. It is so easy, and I always think that it looks so complicated because all the pecans are perfect on the top, but it's just you pour them in, they
float.
They go right up to the top. So
floating pecans.
But never tell your guests that. Make them think that you painstakingly placed every pecan around.
That's right.
Now, I think that this is an excellent forum to talk about the difference between pecan, Jen.
Well, you know, I'm from the South, I'm from Texas, and for me it is pecan. So I don't think there's a right or wrong. I don't think there's, you know, one that's incorrect. I think it's just, I'm gonna pull this out of the oven while we're talking. And, you know, it's tomato, tomato, potato, potato. I think it's pretty much how you go. Okay, golden.
So, yep, now we're just gonna put in, what, like a cup of chocolate chips?
Cup of chocolate chips and a cup and a half of pecans.
Pecan.
And the bourbon, the Kentuckiness of the Kentucky pie.
Pour it in.
There we go.
Now, we should fess up that neither of us are bourbon drinkers. So we were a little wary about the whole bourbonness of it. So we've gone a little light on the bourbon.
Instead of 2 tablespoons, we did 1. It gives it a little flavor, but not, wow, bourbon pie.
Smell.
And, oh, that smells really good.
Yeah,
ooh, and
smell-o-vision.
Alex, I'm sure, would never have done this because she is a foodie, whereas I'm not. We already established that I'm a shortcut kind of girl, so I actually bought a frozen pie crust.
Oh,
so,
I did the refrigerated ones. I unrolled them. Yeah, no,
I didn't even want to unroll. I was like, you know, it's already got the little crinkles around the edge.
Yeah.
So, oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were.
No.
Oh, so you're blowing your cover now.
Well, you know, Jennifer actually makes her own pie crust, and I will say, you know, a homemade pie crust that's good is really good, but
look how pretty that is.
It's not necessary. Yeah. See, and okay, yeah. Why don't you show that?
Do that so you can kind of get an idea how it looks without me pouring it out onto the island.
But it is. It's so pretty. They float all the way up to the top. It looks.
And the chocolate.
Yes.
I'm more excited about the chocolate than the bourbon, frankly.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
And then you throw it in the oven. I think 350 for half an hour. We'll have all this again. You can download it with more specifics. But that's it. That's all there is to it. We've got. So we'll kind of recap. We've got the Benedictine with the sandwiches and the veggie dip. The veggies with the dip. We've got the hot browns.
Yep.
The baby hot browns and the pie. Now I will mention there's another thing that I really thought about doing because it's super Kentucky Derby tradition for ever and ever. It's called burgoo. Burgoo is like a thick stew. It's got chicken, beef, lamb, pork, okra, lima beans, potatoes, tomatoes. It just sounded really overwhelming. Again, it's a cocktail party. If you want to really go all the way there, by all means, try burgoo. Again, it's got 1,000 different recipes out there. Some of them do sound a little bit lighter, but other ones sounded like you could stick a spoon and it would, you know, stick straight up.
Yeah, I like ours better.
I do too, but I thought, you know, I really thought about it, but decided against the burgoo. But by all means, find your own traditions. There are a lot of great, fun foods from Kentucky, and have fun with it. Okay, now we're gonna do decorations. We're gonna do flowers, hats, get everything set up for the table. And you don't normally think of attire as decorations, but anyone who's been to the Kentucky Derby knows that the hats are huge. That's the big deal for the ladies.
Right?
I've had this hat for 5 years. I waited. I wanted so badly to take it to the Derby, but instead we'll just bring the Derby to it.
Perfect.
So,
cheaper plane ticket.
So the first thing we're going to start on are the flowers, and they must be roses and they must be red. You know, roses can get pretty expensive, so a great thing that you showed me was you can do little fillers with carnations, and I know carnations. You're thinking, carnations have come a long way, and they're a great filler flower. So I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, and what I usually do, because again, like I like to have really kind of dense arrangements of flowers. But again, if you're going to do all roses, it's going to cost you a bloody fortune. So what I like to do is usually get the nice flower, sort of your accent flower, and then fill in with other flowers. You can either do the same color or you know, a different color or just a different texture, whatever it is. And what you do is you put in your filler flower first, and they kind of serve as like oasis. So when you put the roses in, now I can cinnamon and, you know, kind of arrangement's going to stay there. So I'll do this while you're working on that.
The other flower actually that we're going to feature for this party is a stargazer lily, because this year as Phillies we are going to pay tribute to the Phillies.
I like that we're Phillies now.
Phillies.
Yeah, I'm a Philly.
So the Kentucky Oaks is the race before the day of the Derby, and that's when the 3-year-old fillies race. So their official flower is the stargazer lily. So we're going to use that as our accent on our drink table. Okay. So now let's go back to the hats. All I did, I found, like I said, I've had this one waiting to go to the Derby, but it's not happened. So you don't have to go out and buy a fancy hat. So I got in my closet and I found this is like an old sun hat that I've had for who knows how long. So not super Derby-ish by itself, but flip the brim over. Go to AC Moore or Michael's or wherever it is, get one little stem of flowers, pick your color, any color, and cut this there's a little nub at the back off. Cut that off, and then get out your hot glue gun, and bam, for $2.50 in like 5 minutes, you've got a great Kentucky Derby hat.
And this is really good news for me because I have an absolute giant melon head and nothing ever fits, so this fits nicely.
Yes, going to that, we actually did order a hat on eBay, which is another way, and it was really relatively inexpensive, but again, you can't try it on when you do that, so keep that in mind if you do decide to do the eBay thing.
And it defied gravity on melon head here, went down and just right up. So
that was so funny. The other thing to do is go look around in your kids' toy boxes. There's a little horse right there that I found actually in her son's toy box. And the other fun thing to do is, well, break out all your china. This is the time to get out the china, the silver, all the stuff that you don't usually use. Get it out. I know polishing it is a pain, but it's worth it and it's free. So get that out. Now, the other thing that I had a lot of fun doing is I went to a thrift store and found some great deals. Okay, this silver tray here, I can even show you. You probably can't see it from there, but it says $3.99. $3.99, and the best part, it was half off.
Fabulous.
So literally for $2, this giant silver tray.
You can use that for any of your parties.
Oh, absolutely. The other thing is looking for statues, and I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, could that be any uglier? And probably not. But what you can do is think outside the box. Think, okay, the structure of it's nice, but maybe the color's kind of ugly. So get a little sandpaper, rough it up a little, can of spray paint that you probably have in your basement. Boom. Got a little decoration. It was $2. So,
or you can leave it as the Grandma Pearly version if you like that better.
And it can be the trivia prize winner.
It sure does. Yeah, it's something else. Yeah.
So there you have it. The decorations are easy. Just be creative and have fun with it. That's all there is.